Hello, my name is Lisa Castle, and I'm going to be your instructor for this statistics class this semester. I wanted to do a quick video to introduce myself, go into your Canvas course, and navigate around in Canvas. I wanted to talk about my Open Math, which is the application we use for homework quizzes and exams. And then I wanted to talk about HonorLock, which is the online proctoring service we use for exams. All right, so I'm on the Redlands homepage. I'm going to log in through Go Redlands. And when I do that, I land on my apps page. On the My Apps page, I'm going to click the Canvas tile. I'm going to locate my course on my dashboard. And then I'm real quick going to change my view to a view as a student. So when I enter Canvas, I will enter on the home page. The top of the home page will contain any recent announcements that have been sent out. I do ask that you read the weekly announcements. There can be some very important information in those announcements, so please read through those. I'm going to scroll down. You can read the introduction to statistics, and then we're going to talk about the buttons toward the bottom of the page. This course is organized in pages and modules. You could always navigate the course by modules by going to the left navigation. Let me click on that. And you can see each module. So we have the introductory information, we have each module, and then we have modules that include homework and quizzes and exams. So you can walk through the course by modules. I'm going to go back to the home page. And I'm going to click on some buttons. So I said I wanted to introduce myself. So the first button that I'm going to click on is the Professor Castle button. And it is K-A-S-T-L. My husband is of Czech descent, so it doesn't have an E on the end. If you're any familiar with those languages, they don't like vowels very much. So I'm going to click on that. Probably the most important information for you on this page is my email address, my phone number, my office number, and my office hours. Feel free to email me anytime. You can call me on the phone. If you're on campus, come by my office. I'm happy to see you anytime you come by. My official office hours are from Monday through Thursday from 1 to 3. However, if I'm sitting in my office, you're welcome to come in anytime. I'm also available by Zoom meeting. If you're not on campus and you want to talk to me, send me an email or a Canvas message requesting a Zoom meeting. I will schedule that and send you a link. Just a little bit of information about me. You can read through this. I'm a pretty boring human being. I do have my story that everyone's required to listen to about knitting. I like to knit. That's probably, well, it's easily my favorite hobby. I have a whole room full of yarn. It's kind of disturbing. But every year we would go to the state fair. We'd walk through the arts and crafts building. We'd look at the knitting projects, and we'd look at the people that won best in show and things like that. And I'd say, I could do better than that. So a few years ago, about 4 years ago, my daughter and I were walking through the arts and crafts building at the state fair, and we walked past this baby blanket, and I said, "Gosh, that looks familiar." And she tells me to read the tag on it. It was actually the blanket that I had made for her firstborn child, Joseph. So it won Best in Show. That's the Best in Show ribbon. And then first place. So it's the rainbow baby Afghan that I knitted. So that's my claim to fame. I have certainly uh, entered things since then, but I've never won another Best in Show. I've won a first place, but I've never won another Best in Show. All right, I'm going to go back to the home page. And let's start clicking through the meat of this course. So I'm going to go to the syllabus. I can get to the syllabus by clicking the syllabus button or by clicking simple syllabus in the left navigation. Either way works. I'm not going to read the syllabus verbatim. You do need to read the syllabus, however. So come in here and read the syllabus. Again, there's the information about my email and my office hours. I do prefer either Canvas messaging or Redlands email because I see that pretty quick. If you attach a message, a note to assignment, I don't see that till the end of the day. I get a summary email at the end of the day for everything that's happened in Canvas, and I'll see it there. So it will take me longer to reply to you if you send the message that way. So send me a Canvas message, send me an email. If you send me an email, be sure you tell me what class you're in. I have a lot of students this semester, a lot of classes, so I won't know right offhand what class you're in. So just tell me I'm in your online statistics class. That would be sufficient. You could read through the course description and the rationale. Let's talk about your textbook. It's free. It's a open educational resource book. It's an OpenStax book. It's free of charge. You don't have to purchase it. Here's a link to the book. So you can download a PDF to your computer. You can just go to OpenStax and open it that way, but it is free of charge. You are required to have a graphing calculator. There is no option for this. You have to have one. Every once in a while, I'll have a student who attempts to do the probability distributions without a calculator. And boy, howdy, is that hard to do. I mean, honestly, as a student many years ago, that's the way we did it. But this is so much easier now with a calculator. I highly recommend the TI-84. That's the one we use mostly. You can rent one in the library. You can go to the business office, say, I want to rent a calculator. You pay for it. You go to the library desk and reserve desk and you pick it up. It is first come, first serve, and they have a limited number of those. But it's a wonderful calculator and it does a lot of really good statistics. We use it constantly. You can read through the general education outcomes, the mission statement, our philosophy, and then the course objectives. Read through those. I do give you a schedule that's in Canvas. We'll talk about that in just a second. And it tells you all your assignment due dates, exam dates, etc. We're going to be using an application called My Open Math for your homework, quizzes, and exams. And one of the features of My Open Math is late passes. And you are awarded 20 late passes for the semester, and you may use up to 3 late passes on any homework or quiz assignment. You can't use late passes on exams. Exams are due the day that they are due. So every late pass extends your due date by 2 days, by 48 hours. So you could get an extension on homework up to 6 days. I highly recommend you don't do that. If you need to use a late pass, use one, get the homework done, because you only have 20 of them. So you need to use those judiciously. No late passes on exams. Okay, honor lock. So here is our blurb on honor lock. Honor lock requires a Chrome browser. It only requires an extension to your Chrome browser. You don't have to download an application to your computer or anything like that. You can opt out of using the online proctoring honor lock if you so choose. You need to let me know within the first 2 weeks of this course. Send me an email saying that you want to opt out. If you opt out of using the online service honor lock, you will be required to come to campus and take the exam in the ACE testing center. Those are your two choices. You can either use honor lock or you can come to the testing center and take the test there. Evaluation techniques. We are going to be using MyOpenMath for your homework, quizzes, and exams. As I have said, homework is 20% of your grade. Quizzes are also 20% of your grade. There are 4 exams over each module. You do not have a comprehensive final. Your last exam, exam 4, will cover chapters 11 and 12. Exams are due at 11:59 p.m. on the due date. You should submit a paper for each exam, and when I send out the announcement the week an exam is due, I'll talk about this pretty extensively, that you need to submit a paper. Otherwise, I don't grade your exam. So if you want your exam graded for typos, you need to request that your exam is graded for typos. So send me a message with your exam paper, say I want my exam graded for partial credit, and I will grade it. Here is the instructions for honor lock. We're going to walk through that very briefly. I do have a demo that I created to show you how to use honor lock. There's no provision for earning extra credit in this course. Don't ask me. Don't send me an email on December the 8th, which is the last week of this course, and ask for extra credit. It's not going to happen. Homework, 20%, drop the lowest 2. Quizzes, 20%, I'm going to drop the lowest 2. 4 module exams worth 60% of your grade. Standard grading scale. You can read through tardy policy. There isn't one because we're online. And campus closure, you can read through that. Campus closure doesn't affect you like it affects students who drive to campus. So, makeup policy. Exams are due the day that they are due. You can always take an exam early. So if you know something is going to be coming up and you're not going to be able to take the exam the day it is due, take it early. If for some reason you missed the due date, you have to let me know immediately that you missed it. The day after the exam is due, let's say an exam's due September the 8th. September the 9th, I assign zeros for anyone who hasn't taken the exam. So if you know, let's say you get really sick and you can't take the exam the day it's due, you may be required to provide documentation, like a doctor's note. But let me know within 24 hours. Don't wait a week. Don't wait 2 weeks. Let me know immediately that you missed it and why you missed it. It's your responsibility to notify me that you've missed an exam. I prefer email as the contact method, although Canvas messaging works very well also. As I said, if you send me an email, just let me know that you're in this online statistics class. Please allow me a little bit of time to respond, up to 24 business hours. I'm usually much more prompt than that. You should check your email and Canvas every day. I'm not kidding. That is not just in there just 'cause. You should check your email and your Canvas every day, even if you don't do homework every day, even if you don't take a quiz every day. Check your email and Canvas. All right, artificial intelligence. All right, we've talked about the syllabus. You are required to take a syllabus quiz in my open math within the first 2 weeks of the course. We'll go take a look at that in just a second. All right, so we've completed the syllabus. Let's close that. All right, back in Canvas, I'm going to click on the schedule. This is your course schedule for the semester. And you can see all the due dates, when everything is going to be due. For example, your honor lock is due, the honor lock practice is due on the 2nd of September. Your first exam is going to be due the 24th of September. Yeah, let me close this. There are also links to all the chapters in this course. Let me go back to the home page. As it's loading, I'm going to go ahead and click on the textbook link. Again, you don't have to purchase a textbook. It is free. You can click on the various links to get to the textbook. There is a Kindle version that's free of charge, so you can just download it from Amazon. And you are required to have a calculator. I highly recommend you have Excel. I actually do a lot of Chapter 2 in Excel as a demo. Chances are when you're in the workforce, if you're using statistics for anything, if you have to present statistics to your boss, you're probably going to use some kind of software to do that. Excel is a very good statistical software program. It's free of charge. It's free for you to download. So I highly recommend you have Excel, and then I will post files for any section that we use Excel in. Your calculator also can do it. I just like for you to take a look at Excel because chances are, again, if you're in the workforce and you do something for your boss, you just don't walk up to him and say, "Here's my calculator. See what I did?" You're going to present him with a presentation that includes Excel. I'm going to go back to the home page. I'm going to click on my Open Math, and it's just an explanation of what my Open Math is. It talks about your late passes again, and then there's a link to the intro to my Open Math homework assignment. You can take it from there, or you can take it from your assignments. I'm going to go back to the home page. I'm going to go ahead and click on Honor Lock. Here are detailed instructions for using Honor Lock. There is a YouTube video that I created to walk you through the authentication process and launching your exam. There are also detailed instructions here and a link to your Honor Lock practice quiz. You do not have a password, don't ask me for one. So how do we protect the exam? With a password. So Honor Lock enters the password for you, you don't have a password. I don't know what else to say about that. I suggest you get your honor lock practice done sooner rather than later. The first exam is not due till toward the end of September. However, honor lock, not having honor lock working is not an excuse for doing the exam late. So you have over a month. I know it's due the 2nd, but you still have over a month to get any kinks with honor lock worked out. 99.9% of all honor lock issues can be cured by clearing your history in your browser. Honest to goodness. But you need to get any kinks you have worked out. You need to make sure your camera works, those kind of things. So take that thing. It's 4 questions. I think they're all true. If I remember, it's been a month since I took the honor lock practice. 4 questions. Super easy to do. Just get her done. I'm gonna go back to the home page. Okay, the homework, quizzes, and exam buttons link to the modules that contain your homework, quizzes, and exams. So it's on the modules page. You can open all the homework at once. I'm going to click on the course content to show you where the meat of your course is. It is in the modules. For example, module 1 is chapters 1 through 3. You can click on the chapter opener. You can read through the introduction to the chapter. There are the objectives for this chapter, and then there's the chapter 1 PowerPoint, which is my PowerPoint I use in the face-to-face class. But it often has a lot of formulas or explanations that you might need for that chapter. If I click the next button or go back to the module, I can open section 1.1. And there I can see all the videos for those sections, and I have included textbook links. So if I click on a textbook link, it opens your free OpenStax Introductory Statistics book to that section. And then you have 4 different videos here on sections 1.1 and 1.4. We group those 2 sections together because the first section introduces you and the 4th section talks about ethics of statistics. Okay, I'm going to go back to my home page and I'm going to open a homework. So in my to-do list, I'll have lists of homework that are coming up. I can open up the homework from there. I can go to the assignments page and open up a homework. I can go to the module and open up the homework. Lots of different ways to get your homework open. So I'm just going to go to assignments. Why not? And I'm going to click the intro to my Open Math assignment. I probably should have mentioned that when I open assignments, it defaults to upcoming assignments, but I can change that to list all my assignments by date. Okay, so now I can load this in a new browser and it opens my Open Math, and then I can do the assignment. And you can see if it's past due, you can redeem late passes. I don't need to do that because it's not past due. So I can start that assignment. And as soon as I save this, it sends back the information to Canvas. So the syncing from my Open Math to Canvas is fairly instantaneous. So as soon as I'm done with the assignment and I save it until I'm done, it'll send my score back to Canvas. I'm going to close the assignment. And let's real quick talk about HonorLock. So to start HonorLock proctoring, I'm going to go to the HonorLock link in the left navigation. And when I go to HonorLock, it's going to have a list of my exams. And then I can launch that exam, go through the proctoring process, close the exam, and then my grade gets sent back to Canvas. It's fairly straightforward. And again, you can watch the demo video that I created showing you how to do this. You do need a government ID, and I say a government ID, but your school ID is perfectly fine. You need a picture ID. You need an ID that shows your face and your name. So HonorLock can do facial recognition. We just want to make sure that the person whose ID is being shown is the person taking the exam, obviously. But it's pretty straightforward. If you have any issues, you can click the chat icon in the lower right of your screen. Let's say you have issues getting the password in. You can click on the chat icon and tell them that you're having issues with the password, and they can input the password for you. So there's no reason why you can't get a password in. I find there's help to be pretty good. They're pretty responsive. But remember that 99% of your ills with HonorLock can be cured by clearing your history, your browser history. Okay, I'm going to close this. All right, and I think I've covered pretty much everything that I want to cover. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me by email, by Canvas messaging. Give me a call. Come by my office. Whatever you need, I'm here for you. So feel free to contact me. And hopefully I'll hear from you this semester. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.